up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing long tube headers by American Racing Headers. Right now we're on stock headers, resonator delete, so it's a double helix X pipe, and the stock mufflers. So we're gonna keep the stock mufflers, we're gonna keep the, of course, the double helix X pipe in there. We're gonna get a couple of before and after shots. Should be a good time. You know, I might hate myself for the next 10 hours. But all right, stick around for the install and let's get to it. There's a sneak peek. We got the headers coated. Because I'm against using heat wrapping, because over time it disintegrates, it can wear out the metal if it gets any moisture in it. The only other option to go with is a coating. There's going to be a lot more heat being generated under the hood, so the coating will help mitigate some of that. Yeah, I think the first order of business will be to take off the starter motor and then start taking a look at this motor mount. Might have to jack up the car right here on the back of the bell housing. Alright, so I got out from underneath the car and then I realized that the motor mount bolts, there's actually a few that you can access on top, as well as some of the header bolts on each side. So I went ahead and pulled the intake off. So that's gone. And you can see down there, there's a motor mount bolt and the header bolts are right over there. But yeah, remove the intake, it'll give you a lot more working room. It'll save you some pain and headache later. All right, so I removed this motor mount up here. So there's 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and then back behind the bracket 4, and then 5, I guess, to include the top side. It actually bolts in from the top. Bottom right one, there's like a weird, I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to see that. There's a ground wire that's on that stud that has to be taken out. And I can't access the head of that stud until that ground wire is removed. For whatever reason, they use the same diameter hole as the actual stud itself.
Much later.
What I eventually had to do was to get some slack in the wire loom. You can maybe see down there. There's like a 10 mil little bracket that was holding the wire loom down. So I had to jack up the motor to expose that bolt. And then I unhooked it just to get more slack in the wire loom. So that way I could actually pull down on it with an even pressure on the left. And then with my right hand, I was taking a 90-degree pick and I was going in through the top of the eyelet and pulling down at the same time I was pulling down with my left hand, if that makes sense. Eventually we got it slowly but surely. I was literally having to pull down over each thread. That's how tight it was. Alright, we got the passenger side motor mount out. We have a much better working area. The motor is currently being supported. It is jacked up right now. There's some bolts I think I can access from the top. I have to get creative with it. Alright guys, we got the passenger side header removed. That was a pain in the ass. Let me show you. Have it here on the floor. Finally got it out after fiddling around with the passenger side for like 2 days almost. We have the ARH long tubes installed right now. But yeah, we're going to continue on to the driver's side. Made a lot of good progress over here.
3 hours later.
Alright guys, I'm on the last nut for the driver's side header. We're going to take it off together. I'm going to get you guys mounted up. Basically, I've only kept 2 of the studs. It's the front 2 on the top row. Yeah, it's literally just hanging on by 1 more nut. So we're going to take that off, fish the exhausts out, and then go from there. Show you guys something on the new OEM gaskets, or if you're going to reuse your gaskets, you do have to make a modification specifically to the ARH headers. The flange, like the holes right here, I've kind of outlined them right here with black Sharpie, but those holes have to be used. So some of the studs move around on the block for the specific flange on that set of headers. So you will have to take a Dremel and like cut a chunk out just to make room for those bolts to go in through those holes.
Go view that waffle cheese. You see it?
Alright guys, we got the OEM gasket all prepped. 2 of the studs are prepped. I've got 1 of the supplied bolts threaded in, so that way it's holding the exhaust gasket. I'm gonna pull the new header up. Everything should be ready to go, so I shouldn't have to take it off more than one time. Hopefully I can just get it the first try. Yeah, we're almost done, so let's get this thing thrown up in there and bolted down.
3 days later.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I was struggling for a long time. I got the headers all bolted up, and I was ready to throw the motor mounts in. And it came to my realization that the motor mount would not fit because of the way the American racing headers are designed. I jacked the motor up as high as I could. Still didn't have enough clearance to get that motor mount to pass the stud right here. So I had easy access to the motor mount bolt that is down at the bottom right there from the top. So I pulled that out, thinking that would give me a bit more clearance to loosen some of this stuff up. I only cracked loose the one on the back. There's two for the rubber part of the motor mount. That was still not enough at all. And for whatever reason, the Ford factory puts so much blue Loctite on those motor mount bolts. There's no way I was going to get out that back one without some sort of power tool, and there's just no space for it. I used my 1/2 inch Milwaukee on this front bolt, like right here. You know, once everything was still in there, it was easy access, but that back one with the header in the way, there's no way I could get my impact wrench on that back bolt to break it loose. And I'm not sitting down there for 2 hours cranking on a bolt that's got Loctite out the ass on it. I'm going to pull out the rubber motor mount and then assemble that with the aluminum bracket all as one unit, and then try to fish the headers back up again. It's going to be a huge pain in the ass. I'm pretty irritated about it. I thought the driver's side was going to be much quicker, but that is turning out to not be the case. I would say don't install your headers until you pull the motor mount bracket off and the rubber part before you do anything else. Save yourself the headache, assemble it outside the car, and do what I'm going to do, which is fish it in after I put the headers in, or I might kind of loosely bolt it up there now and then try to see if the headers can fit. I don't know, I've got 2 ways I want to do it, but I will update you guys once we're done. All right, guys, we're back underneath the car. We finally got the headers thrown back inside after we pulled the motor mount and the bracket for it. So we reinstalled the headers by themselves, and then we combined the bracket right here and the little rubber motor mount pad that it sits into on that little stud. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, we combined that into like one piece, so it's pretty like loosely put together. And after we bolted down all the studs and all the nuts and everything for the headers, we were able to loosely fit it in. So I wish I would have known that beforehand. Definitely try to remove the entire motor mount assembly and include it with your header install. With that out of the way, we're going to reconnect the steering shaft. So we're going to throw that back together. We're going to drop the motor entirely. Everything's been torqued down. Well, not torqued down, but snugged down to the best of my ability for the space it's given in here. But yeah, with that being said, we're going to work on the X-pipe now. Get the X-pipe all taken care of. O2 sensors on, and this thing should be ready for its first startup. So getting excited for that. I've spent so many hours doing this. But all right, let's get this done.
I think a wasp just flew past you.
Terrible. I don't have my test here. God, this sounds so bad. Don't ever be like that guy. Okay, so we got the E85. I left off in the garage. I could not finish getting the mid pipes installed. I was having too much issue with the coating, I think, on the headers themselves. And for whatever reason, the back, like connecting part of each header looks a little bit like banged up. Almost like someone kind of dropped it. So I tried like hammering parts of it to make it a bit smaller to like correct the issues that I was noticing. And I don't know, it just wasn't working. So we're gonna go to an exhaust shop, get some professionals to kind of help me out here. And also we're gonna put the 2 flex pipes, we're gonna get those welded in. So we might as well take the car there, get the flex pipes taken care of, get the rest of the mid pipe taken care of. Because I was struggling all morning to get that stuff in there. But So we basically have like a free weekend to do anything. There's a bunch of small stuff to knock out, so we're gonna do that. But at least for now, we have E85 ready to go for our bass tune. I'll pick up again once we're at the exhaust shop, so I'll see y'all there. What's up, guys? It's currently January 5th. A bunch of businesses are back open. My tuner got back to me. Looks like we're gonna be able to take the car into the exhaust shop to get the mid-pipe all tacked up. So yeah, we're gonna go take care of that on the stock tune. Afterwards, we'll get the tune dialed in. But for now, we'll have an open header cold start. All my neighbors are gone, so hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, this is gonna sound pretty stupid. I have to drive maybe 45 minutes to an hour to the exhaust shop, so it's just gonna be obnoxious as fuck the whole time. But yeah, we're gonna let this thing idle up. It hasn't started in a while. I relocated the coolant bottle, so we're gonna make sure that the water level, everything kind of bleeds off. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be exciting. So let's get this cold start going. Alright, well, we turned the car off. I double checked everything to make sure nothing was loose. We have our laptop, we've got our exhaust in the back. Yeah, all we have left to do now is take it to the exhaust shop, so let's get this thing fired right back up. And my god, there's no comparison on camera. This thing was like shaking my entire house. I literally had to cover my ears, it was getting so bad. It's not as bad that it's started to idle down, but man, this thing feels like a straight go-kart now. It's actually pretty crazy. Oh my god, it sounds so obnoxious. Now, we're not going to do anything crazy because I obviously don't have a tune on it.
Much later.
Alright guys, we just got finished at the exhaust shop. They really hooked me up. I'm not going to show their business on camera. I mean, I have Bluetooth cats, and although they didn't install it, I just don't want to put them on blast like that. They do really good work. We are getting the 93 tune loaded from Lund. So we're going to take care of that, data log real quick, and then show you some of the sound clips of it. Alright, so it's time to do some data logging. We flashed the car with the 93 tune from Lund. Next step, obviously, is to try to get that tune dialed in a little bit more, so we have to send some data. That's exactly what we're going to do.